Hello there, only one Kenobi here, only one. And I want to give you a little bit of a review and a look at some star case that, well, actually no, they are acrylic cases and they are from Star Action Figures. So Wayne sent me these, so thank you very much, Wayne, with my last order actually, which is lovely. So I want to have a look at them. As you can see, you've got two different sizes. Both have been nicely bubble wrapped for protection's sake. I'm going to be using them for TVC, but I do have a vintage 80s figure to put inside there as well, just to sort of give you an idea of what can fit in what. And that is it. I'm going to unpack them in a minute, but firstly I'll show you the figures that I have decided to showcase in them. Number one, I've got my yak face here. This is a TVC one. I chose this not only because it's got a big bubble, I guess. It might not have actually as much depth as others, but this is the kind of thing you would put in an acrylic case because it's a showpiece piece, if you want to call it that. I've got this vintage 80s Gamma guard here because, well, it's an 80s figure, but also you won't get a bubble bigger than that. So I'd be interested to know if this will fit into the smaller of the two. Then you'll know that the other one will fit any sized vintage 80s, I'd guess. Please do let me know if there are any other figures in the 80s line that are bigger than that Gamma. And finally, what else have I got? Oh yeah, since in the interest of continuity and stuff and depth, that's another one that has a big bubble and it's a Gamma guard. It's one of my favourite Gamma guards, this one. I love that one, you know, the multi-language Canadian. So let's do this. I'm going to get them open first, unpack them, and we'll take it from there. And after you take off the bubble wrap, it also has another protective cover, this like a cellophane type thing, so I'll get that off as well. Anyway, it looks nice. As far as I remember, these cases, they slide open at the base, but I'll figure that out in a minute. Oh, hang on. Oh, it slides that way. Yeah. So I'll get the figure in a minute. Nice finish. Yeah, I'll just let you know now, this is the thinner of the two. So I'll be interested to know if I can fit some of these bigger bubble items in these. It might not fit them. That one definitely will. So let's get them both open and then we'll discuss that in a moment. And there you are. Now I told you a lie. This is that's the thinner of the two. So one is wider than the other. Let's just stack them. There's a little bit more depth. Handheld. Just see there. You can just see now that one is a little wider than the other by a few millimeters each, right? So they're nice, man. They are nice acrylic cases. They do display card backs well. Let's do a Gamma test. So that is that thickness there. Yeah, that might struggle to fit into that one. Yeah, it will do. It will need that one there, I think. Yeah, it will. So we're going to go with the wider one with that one. I'm going to put the other Gamma in this one, the vintage 80s. This is a 65 back, which I did a trade with BOE, the blacked out Ewoks, for this one here. Lovely clear bubble there. Classic. And let's do it. So again, we slide that off. Firstly, I'm going to just see if the TVC one will fit. No, it won't. See, it ain't going in that one. Will this one? This might not either, you know. This might just be for thinner bubbled vintage 80s. No, not even that one. So I'm going to have to go and get another vintage 80s card, ladies and gentlemen, and see what we can do. So we're stopping there, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to get in order the measurements of these two cases. This is the first one, and let's just see if it's tall enough. Yeah, let me just get that in properly. This is the first one, the thinner of the two. And I've noticed something else about these two cases as well. One of them has a guide track down the side. The other doesn't. This is the one that doesn't have a guide track down the side. This is the standard size one, and I'll measure it for you now. This fits a standard TVC bubble here, and it will fit a vintage 80s, no doubt. It doesn't fit the Gamma guard, as in the vintage 80s Gamma or the TVC one. It fits all the other ones. It fits the Jar Jar and Carbonite. It fits the Yak Face. So you're good to go with this one. But it doesn't have the guide tracks down the side, which is interesting. Why it doesn't, but still, the full width of it is. Let me just get in on that there. Can you see? This is not just the internal width, but the entire, because it's got two thick acrylic housings on the side of it. And from the start of my tape measure to the very edge. It's on it's on bang on 4.5 centimeters, more or less, you know, give or take. The other one is, yeah, the one that's got guide track. Let me just show you those now as well. If I just sort of like focus on my hand there, ladies and gentlemen. Can you see them? If I go around this side, you'll see them a bit better. There, can you see that? Because it's only going to fit the Gammo guard and the Vintage 80s Gammo guard, so I'm interested. Unless they're for something else, a different size, a 3 3/4 inch guard that needs that. Very interesting. Still, I don't know why. This is, let me just put the Vintage 80s in there first. So this is my Vintage 80s Gammo. It's slightly difficult to slide this in with because of the guide tracks, plus there's a little tiny wave on the left hand side of the bubble, but it's going in okay. Shouldn't be damaging. And then it's inside the top section too now. There we are. I'm going to put the bottom slot, close that shut. See if we can do that. There we are. We're sealed and it's in. And this is, look at that, quite snug fit there. Perfect. This goes to, yeah, just about 5 centimeters, just under 5, like 4.9 almost. And you see from housing to housing, not the internal space, but the entire width of the item. So that's really good, isn't it? It works nicely. There's the guide tracks there. And at the top, you can see there's that there as well to keep it in place. I'll be honest with you, I started the filming of this video a couple of days ago and I didn't spot the guide track at the top. So some of the items I was reviewing, putting inside here were falling forward. I was like, what? So I was just sort of going along with it saying, oh yeah, it's fine, I guess. But no way, man, that's not good. That's what they're for, the things at the top. I'm new to acrylic cases, ladies and gentlemen, so a bit of a fish out of water with these, but they do look nice, like graded items almost. And this is the top track for the, or gird, or whatever you want to call that, for standard TVC, which is great, and it keeps it in place. And you could obviously go and fit anything else in there. Let me go and get something else. So we're going to have a little go with this card back here, only because this is a special piece. It's a lot of money. It cost me a lot of money anyway. I bought it in a charity auction for a good cause, but it cost me way more than it would have in 2019, that's for sure. So just to prove that this goes in as well, obviously, because previously when I did a video review, I didn't realize the guide track was there and the thing was falling forward, man. It was a bit of a nightmare. Doziness on my part there. So as you can see, yeah, it goes into the top girder section there. Close the gate. And we'll close the gate there, and then there you are. So lots more depth because it's a thinner card back, obviously, and bubble. And it still displays nicely. It's kept into the top section there. And there you are. Nice. Displays nicely, man. That's really good. Nice. And obviously this wider one here has the guide bars on it, as I said before. So I don't quite know why both don't have that. Maybe there's something specific maybe that calls for that. But I tell you what, since these both fit TVC, except this one obviously will house everything, including the Gammo guard. I don't think there's any bubble bigger than that. The guide section on the left here is quite appealing. It'll stop it from rocking forward like this one here, see? If I do that, because this is a very, very thin bubble, it will rock forward from the bottom, but it won't from the top. Obviously it's locked into position. You can obviously knock it back, but this one would probably be better, so I'm going to try it in that one. Even though this is a bit wider, it doesn't really matter, it still will display nicely. So let's try that. And I've also got my yak face back out, because I think the yak face, although that will fit in the thinner one, this one here, I think that the yak face would be good. My yak face in particular is starting to warp, so it will have a bit more holding there. Let me just move this junk in the background here. This is stuff I'm going to open at some point soon. It will have a little bit more, a bit more support to stop it from warping, should we say. So first things first, let's see if we'll fit this one in here, because these are thick card backs, right? The retros, very thick, and the carbonized ones especially. But I want to see if this fits in. Not that this isn't a carbonized figure, it's just a prototype one, but it should be all right. There's a little bit of resistance there, which I don't want to damage this card back, actually. I hope I'm not damaging it. No, it's gone in all right. That's good. only because there's a ding on the side of mine, which will add to the width of it. It's like a divot. And but that's cool. That's in there. Nice. Looks all right, man. That's the widest you can get that I've got anyway. You saw the measurement before. That will do for that. And now I'm going to try the yak face. So I presume they're the same price. I really don't know. I'll have to go on his site, man. I'm just rolling with what I've been given here. And let's have a look. Yeah, my yak face sadly is warping. Might try the trick with magnets if you're watching Salacious Rum. See, look at that. It's a shame, isn't it? Look at that. Such a warp. It's all right when it's in a star case, but let's try it in here with the guides on the left and the right. That should keep it nicely pressed. I might need to just maneuver that a little bit. Because of the warp, it's not sliding in quite yet. Hang on, there we're in. We got it, we got it. Oh, I need to lock the gate on the base. Bear with me. There we are, we're in again. Easy enough job. Let's lock the gate at the base. And now we're in, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, could you see any of that then? Camera tilted. And that's all right. Let's have a look at the warp situation. Yeah, it's still there. The ultimate star case, I've said this for years, will be one that has a clamp or some kind of pressing at the base, man. I'm sure that can be designed, can't it? You know what I mean? Even going back to these old star cases, the Protect ones, right? They've got these things here that will press the card. There's nothing at that base seam. They should have something protruding there. You see there, right there. Anything, just to keep it flush. I've tried magnets, that works. If you have a magnet in the front and back of a star case, it works. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen, that's all good. Last thing I'm going to do, I don't know why I've proved my point, I think I've filmed everything I need to, is I'm going to put the Gamo, vintage collection Gamo. This is the biggest bubble that I know of. If I'm wrong on that, do let me know, but this is the biggest bubble that exists in width and in depth, I'm sorry. It's this, and this is my favourite of the Gamos I have in my collection. And let's put it against the vintage 80s just to see how they are. In fact, you know something? Looks like they've got the same... Yeah, look at that. For continuity throughout the decades. They have almost the same width. Wow. So this one here is more than a case designed for the thickest. There's only one card that I know of, and that's the Gamo. It's more than that. It has these guides here, and I don't think that can be something specific just for this figure. It could be something for every figure, but anyway, I don't know why. You'd have to get in touch with Wayne from Star Action Figures to know why this card and this card alone, or sorry, this case and this case alone has the guides on the side of it. I'm having trouble getting this one in. It's probably just the natural warp on the card. If I can push it, we're in. Not too bad. Just have to be patient, ladies and gentlemen, and jiggle it. Have I got the right one? Yes, I have. And we're locked, and we're in. There you are. I'm going to leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching that. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I have shown you all you need to see. Again, I'm going to be honest, I'm no expert on these. I've never really gone for acrylic cases, although I can totally see how the benefits of them. They display figures, carded figures, very well indeed. Nice, and you know, we all know how good graded figures look, so this could be very good for your collection, especially for centerpiece items like, you know, like your yak faces, like your carbonized Jar or carbonate. What's he called? Carbonated Jar Jar. No. Carbon frozen Jar Jar and other such select pieces. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you, Wayne, Star Action Figures, for sending me those two cases to have a look at. And it's my pleasure to share it with you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only one. Out.